anything and everything. So we are going to start with the intro. I know I am coming here unannounced on a Wednesday. I still all coming here on a I still have to come back here on a Thursday, which is tomorrow. Ne? So today is unannounced. And I want us to talk about this thing that it has been an ongoing debate. I've got a feeling that today is just going to be part one of this debate, and then tomorrow we're going to do a part two. Ne? Yeah, let's do the intro quickly and we'll go straight into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Marimeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self love, and motivation. And if you are returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing me. Yeah, this one definitely is going to be opinionated because we're just going to be sharing different points of views regarding this whole issue that I'm about to tell you guys about now. Ne? I want us to talk about this issue that I brought up, I think, yesterday regarding this whole baby daddy, baby mama introducing your kids to your boyfriend or your girlfriend and all that stuff. Okay, for those who did not get to watch that short video, and for context, let me just say the whole thing all over again and then we'll go straight into the topic. Ne? So I bumped into a lady a couple of days ago and she wanted my opinion on the fact that she has decided, and I must say this, net ladies, that when you bump into me, you might be very disappointed because you might think that because you're bumping into me and I'm for women, when you ask for my opinion about certain things, I will favor you because by virtue of you being a woman. And I might end up disappointing you. So, ish, guys, before you ask for my opinion, be sure you want to hear it. Because I do have, like, I always say, with an opinion is like a butthole. Everybody has one. You don't have to go around showing people your butthole, but everybody has one. Sometimes it stinks. That's an opinion. So if you want to see my butthole, I'm going to show it to you. You know, and you might not even like it sometimes, you know. But anyway, so this lady was saying that she recently decided that her daughter is not going to visit her baby daddy anymore. And the reason for that is because when the daughter came back from visiting the baby daddy, the daughter is like 7 years old. When she came back from visiting the baby daddy, she said that there was a friend of the baby daddy who was a girl. And she got mad, you know, how dare you bring your woes around my kids? How could you? This is my child. Before you bring any woman around my child, you bring any stranger around my child, I have to know that woman. I have to approve of that woman. And also, the only woman that you should be introducing my child to is the woman that you must get married to, you know? So you're not going to be introducing different women to my child all the time. You know, she didn't specify how many women this man has introduced to the child before, but basically her concern as a mother is that she's not expecting that the father should be introducing different women to the child, you know. And like I said, that when it comes to this one specifically, guys, we can all come in here. You know, this is a safe space for us to differ. You know, if it means by the end of this life we've agreed to disagree, it's okay. You know, we don't have to agree all the time. Because for me, I feel like baby mamas, baby daddies also do that sometimes. You know, when you've got one narcissistic baby daddy, obviously they will want to control you even after the relationship has come to an end. But in most cases, it's women. It's one of the traits that show narcissism in women, where they want to control the guy even after the relationship has come to an end. And sometimes, you know, I believe that when somebody abuses you, especially like when I look at myself, I know some of you are gonna come for my age. Please don't come for my age. If I'm 36 now and I'm dating a guy who's 41, I'm a fully grown woman. And if that man is going to control me and tell me, oh, you don't do this, you don't do that, it will be because I gave him permission to control me because I'm grown, you know? I'm not a teenager anymore. I cannot be groomed anymore. We can agree, me and this guy, to disagree. We can agree that we're going to do away with certain things for the benefit of our relationship. If maybe certain things they're not benefiting the relationship, we can do away with them. But for him to control me fully and abuse me, it will be because I gave him the power to do that, you know? I always say that I've got this one friend of mine that when she came back from therapy, the first time she attended therapy, the therapist just looked at her and she said to her, "My sister, you've been enduring abuse, all possible types of abuse you've been enduring, and all in the name of Musadu Taraktipa Kawahaling, a woman must hold the knife by the sharp edge, you know." And when her hearing it from someone that all that she's been enduring, all in the name of, "I want my marriage to work," is literally abuse. You've been abused sexually, you've been abused emotionally, you've been abused physically, you've been abused financially, like all the types of abuse, tick, 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 you know. So, yeah, like I said, that I feel like when I'm an adult, like the way that I am now, if anybody is going to abuse me that I'm in a relationship with, is because I gave them that authority to abuse me. And sometimes we do that because we're trying to, for peace sake, I don't want to lose this person, I value them or whatever, And sometimes I always say this, that sometimes when you show people love, they see an opportunity to take advantage of you and abuse you because they know that love is like a drug that they've captured you, And I mean, I always say, or you know what, guys, I mean, I have a lot of love to give. Like, ask those who've been around me. Ask them. I mean, I'm a lover. I will love you and your family and your cats and your dogs and your everything. But the era of my life where I'm at right now, if you abuse me, I'm gone. Like you won't even believe that I was there. Like, I will love you and embrace you all, and I will leave all of you. But anyway, with that being said, so now I was saying that when it comes to the abuse that we women actually expose ourselves to, we allow people to control us, we allow people to abuse us. You enable the abuse, basically. So once you've enabled that abuse and the relationship still doesn't work out, the more the person abuses you, the more you are falling into, like, you are falling apart, and you can see that the relationship doesn't work out. And in most cases, you may find that it's not even you who decides that the marriage must come to an end or the relationship must come to an end. It's going to be from the same person who has been abusing you. Then they wake up one morning and they decide, "Listen, I'm done with this one. She's not strong enough for me anymore. Now I'm going to move on to the next person." Then you are left there having endured abuse and having nothing to show for it. Now, when there are kids involved and you guys go your separate ways, let's say, for example, you've been tolerating a cheating man, your ex is a Casanova of note. So you know very well that even after the relationship has come to an end, he's probably going to be changing girls like he's changing underpants, for those who actually do wear underpants. So that bitterness of just knowing the fact that this person is going to be continuing with what they've been doing, you want payback, because you've allowed them to control you for the longest time. Now that you've reached a point where you don't have to allow them to control you anymore because you've got nothing to benefit, because there's no relationship anyway. Now you want revenge, subconsciously. You want revenge. You want to show them, "Listen, you don't get to tell me nothing. You've been telling me what to do, where to go, what time to be home for the past 10 years. You're not going to do that with me anymore. I'll do whatever I want. I'll do." Like, there's absolutely nothing you can do to me. So we get to a point where even with the kids, we want to control these people. "Listen, during that time when we were still together, you used to call the shots. You used to tell me that my kids can't go here, can't go there. Now I'm calling the shots and I'm telling you, listen here, Wena Mona of a Casanova. My daughter is not going to meet your floozies. Yeah, your floozies. Unless I know her and I've seen her and I know she's a good woman, and my daughter is safe because that woman is a stranger." My sister, the time when you were still married to this Casanova of yours, there were strangers who were coming. You didn't mind them. But now, because the relationship came to an end, all of a sudden you have a problem with the strangers. Ha! You and your double standards. Like, you were sharing your man with strangers. Sometimes your man was taking even your child to meet these strangers in restaurants and whatnot. You didn't mind. But now that the relationship has come to an end, you mind. You have double standards. So basically what I said to this woman was, for me, I want to understand, Huri, what is the big deal when it comes to her husband being, her ex-husband, excuse me, her ex-husband being around. Let's say maybe the child is visiting for the weekend, according to maybe the parenting plan and all that stuff. And then when the child is visiting for the weekend, then there are people. There's the woman. There's a female figure who's around them. It's the thing you don't want. You want him to call you and ask for permission to say, "Listen, I've got a girlfriend now, and I'm serious with this girl." I want to understand that, and I'm not taking away the concern of maybe saying that the guy was abusive, the guy was negligent, therefore I don't trust that my kid can also be safe, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you know very well, or this guy, he loves his kids. Because remember, guys, most of the times when a relationship comes to an end, this thing, yauri, men, when they leave you, they leave the kids, they love the next woman with the kids. It's not always applicable. There are certain men who actually do love their kids even after the relationship has come to an end. You understand what I mean? And they can still show their kids the same love that they showed them when you guys were still together. But this man is a Casanova, and he's not gonna stop being a Casanova, you know. So the thing with me is, I'll just give an example with myself. Um, I've exposed my kids to a lot of female and male figures. I've made them understand, and the youngest one is 7 now, ne? They understand gore ho na le bo malume so and so, malume so and so, malume so and so, malume so and so. Some are literally, sometimes I would even say to them, can you count your uncles for me? And they will count them. Some of them, it's one of them is my ex, the other one is just a friend, the other one is literally their biological uncle, you know. So to them, all of them are uncles because they've seen them around or something. You understand what I mean? But now my kids understand that as a woman I can relate to men and I can relate to women. You know, I can have friends who are male and friends who are women. So meaning that because it's in the mix of all these things, it's kind of difficult for them to know which one is my boyfriend and which one is not. Like literally for me, this year is the first time that I've ever had a conversation with my kids about me having a boyfriend, you know, because all along it has always been malume so and so, malume so and so. They've never had me talking about a boyfriend or anything like that. Like literally, it's only this year that we've had that conversation to say, out of all these malumes who are there, this one specifically is mama's boyfriend. Understand? So then they get to relate with both male and female, ne? Meaning that even if I was to introduce, even if I was to have them in the same room with my boyfriend, they wouldn't know which one is my boyfriend. And I'm not expecting my baby daddy to come and say, I heard that the kid said there was a man there, or there were 2 men, or there were 2 men and 2 women. It's just a mix. It doesn't really show which one is my boyfriend and which one is just an uncle, which one is just a friend, you know. So because I really just want them to relate to men and women. And also another thing, the one thing that we are failing our kids, because you see with this whole thing, Yauri, as a man, you can't be showing around your girlfriends. You need to show the one that you are serious with. Guys, I don't know if you guys are aware that you are passing down generational traumas and stuff. I don't even know what to call them. You are passing them down because the reason why I really want you to get me. You know, I need you to screen record this and put it in your head. The reason why you stayed in a relationship which is dysfunctional longer than you should have is because you've always seen relationships working out. You have always seen people making it work. Meaning that even people when it's not working out, it's difficult for them to leave because they've never been exposed to a relationship that works out and a relationship that does not work out. We need to educate our kids to know that when it comes to something called a relationship, people can be boyfriend and girlfriend, and if that relationship does not work out, we break up peacefully, so we heal, and then we get into another relationship. I'm not saying teach your children how to be a whore. I'm saying that your kids need to understand there's such a thing called a breakup in life. I'm not saying every 2 minutes bring a girl, but I hope you are hearing me, ne? That you can't portray this perfection to your kids that you couldn't even live up to with the baby daddy, and then now you are coming here saying, well, the next person must make it work, this relationship with your baby daddy, when you couldn't make your relationship work with your baby daddy. For the sake of your kids, you must show kids stability. So you guys are more focused on showing kids perfection and stability, and you are forgetting about showing kids reality. And the reality of the matter is, when they grow up, one of these kids, and they get into relationships, they will understand that, oh, by the way, there's something called relationship working out, and there's something called when a relationship doesn't work out, people can break up. And then when they also start getting into relationship, they're not going to sit around a relationship that is dysfunctional, all because when as a mother, you tried your level best, or for as long as that relationship is not working out, I'm not going to show my kids, I must only show my kids perfection. Do you see yourself now what you're doing? The same thing, you are claiming that we want to liberate this generation. We want to teach our kids to do better. We don't want to hide anything from our kids. We want our kids to be as realistic as possible, because the reason why we have so many crises, like there's crisis left and right, is because our parents were not realistic with us. They tried to hide things from us. And when we figure these things out on our own, it's a disaster. People are killing each other now because of figuring things out on their own. You only realizing now when you are older that, oh, by the way, kind of my grandfather is not her first husband. She had another husband, and actually my older aunt is not even my grandfather's child. You're finding out when you're older. Why are we making this thing such a taboo thing? Yes, I do understand that there are certain things that you can't discuss with things because their minds cannot like fathom such things. But as they grow older, guys, they interpret these things in their own way. And then once you speak about them openly, they recite these things as they grow older. And the more, like, I always have this conversation with my kids, guys, about the cause of divorce. Because I always remind them, guys, I have a boyfriend. My boyfriend is not your father. They have a beautiful relationship with their father. And if they get to meet my boyfriend and we get to be this blended family, it's going to be a bonus for them, because they will have another father on top of the father that they already have. They won't have a replacement of a father. I don't want my kids to lack that. And I know that for some people, it will be like I'm speaking from a point of luxury, because this guy actually wants to be in his kids' lives. There's someone who actually does not even want to be in the kids' lives. But when it comes to this one specifically, you need to also still teach your kids that relationships work and relationships fail. And when relationships fail, people go attend therapy. I gave an example some time back about how this thing, parents, when they fight, and they fight in front of kids and they traumatize the kids, but when they make up, they go do douche douche. They have makeup sex in the bedroom. They don't involve the kids, obviously, because the kids are kids, but they never sit the kids down and say, this is what we're fighting for, this is how we have resolved it. Kids grow up with this thing of, we are happy today, tomorrow we are fighting, going back to being happy. They don't even know how to navigate their emotions when it comes to tapping from the emotions of sad to the emotions of happy. They just see magic. And then your kids, you think because they were raised by two parents, then they are going to be good, morals, what. Can't they expect magic? They marry a child, they marry Wana Maremeni, and then they expect Wana Maremeni to perform magic. They offend me today, they expect that tomorrow morning when I wake up I should be okay, because they saw that from you. Or you guys fight tomorrow morning, you didn't resolve with them, you didn't involve them when you were resolving, so tomorrow morning things must just go back to normal. And that's not how it works. For some of us, me, we must sit down, we must talk about it until I'm okay. If it means that we have to talk about it to a point where you need to make me see what I'm wrong, and you are sticking to your guns to say, no, Perseverance, you are wrong. No. Look at it in this way. This is where you are wrong. Then I will apologize, Then I will say, okay, I will not do it again. But if I feel like you have offended me, I'm not gonna sleep and then wake up tomorrow morning and that thing has disappeared. I still have to sit down with you and tell you, this is how you have offended me. And if you feel like you are wrong based on me explaining to you what you did to me, then you can apologize. But if you don't want to apologize, Lorna, it's still fine, We'll see to finish, So basically, that's what I'm saying, that when it comes to our kids, they should be able to relate to male and female. Not all men are monsters, because now it becomes very difficult for you to even, be able to, like, certain things become foreign to your kids, because when you try to shield them, you can't shield them from life, because they have to navigate this life even years after you are long gone. There's an episode that we had on one of our on the Safe Space Chess podcast, I think, was it last year or when we were starting off? I think it was my episode 3, episode 4 there, where we're speaking to a lady. I love her so much, Ntomentle via Ntomjali, where she was saying that because of whatever that happened between her mom and her dad, she was raised in a home where she was, shielded. She didn't know a father's love. She didn't know she needed a father, because her mother was she was available, she was providing, she was all these things, until she went to varsity and she started seeing a man, and she was taught to run away from men, until she went to varsity and she saw a man having a relationship with his daughter, and the father visiting them at rest, and then it triggered something in her to say, this is foreign to me. This is going against what I've been taught all my life. Because all my life I've been taught that a man and a woman can't relate. A father can't kiss their child, they can't hug their child, they can't be there, they can't be present. So all of that now means that you must go and establish and discover yourself. And what does she do when she discovers herself? She gets into a relationship with a married man, she makes a baby with the married man. So some of these things that you think you are protecting your children from, you are actually not protecting them. You are actually making things even worse, because when they grow older and they have to make decisions, the first thing they want to explore is things that you have been protecting them from. Ne? Sharp. So relating to a lot of people, or rather exposing your kids to both genders, it's good. I mean, I think also with me, because I'm a hoarder of people. I'm a hoarder of people. Like, my kids all their lives, they just know a house full of people. There's always people. There's always people eating. There's always dining. There's what. And it's both male and female. So at least they're familiar with both, right? Now, with all of that, there's a possibility, yes, obviously, that based on how the relationship came to an end, the maybe the baby daddy was abusive. He's a risk, to the well-being of the child and all that stuff. Then it's another story altogether. There's a podcast that I was watching, I think last week, where a lady was speaking about how her husband, I don't know whether I should call him a husband. Yes, it's a husband, because he had paid lobola, killed her twins, and then later on killed himself after he was caught by the police. And it started with him just behaving in a certain way, behaving crazy. And then one fateful day, he asked for the kids. He just wants to spend time with them. But based on the story that she was sharing, or these are the signs and symptoms that the guy was just going crazy. The guy was not stable mentally. So I think with that type of behavior, you already know not to give your kids to that person. You already know. But obviously we can't judge, because sometimes, I don't know, I guess what is supposed to happen will happen. But with all of that, when you already know your baby daddy is a danger, then you will know not to even give him the child without supervision. So that's a different story altogether. But this one year, when you want your child to be safe, all of a sudden your baby daddy's girlfriend is a stranger, but your boyfriend is not a stranger. You want to control that guy from outside the relationship. Guys, you need to let go. And when I was reading the comments, I saw somebody, because obviously, such topics where there's a baby mama and a baby daddy involved, and the partner of the baby mama, the partner of the baby daddy, there's always, arguments. There's always, and I saw someone saying that, clearly all these women in the comment section were saying that they don't care. No baby daddy of theirs is going to introduce, no baby daddy of theirs is going to have their child around some woman that they don't know, that they don't approve of. They don't care even if they're going to say they're bitter, but that's their child and that's that. And for me, I'm like, imagine, guys, me and you were in a relationship, we have a child. We broke up because we really could not be together. But I must still report to you. Guys, I will not do such a thing. I will not do such. I think the only person who will report to my kids about their new stepfather, it's them. They will report to their father, not me. The only time that I will be having a conversation with my baby daddy about my boyfriend is when I'm inviting him to my wedding. The day I get married is the day I will invite him to my wedding and say, me, come. So your flower girl and your ring bearer, they're gonna be there at my wedding. Do you wanna come or not? I must go and ask permission from him to say, no, I have a boyfriend now, and the relationship is working out now. So permission. Oh, even Maremini doesn't give that. I don't even ask permission for Maremini. Imagine. That's not my father. It's the father of this one, of the Punuentle. That Punuentle one must be the one that asked permission from my father, not me. Unless if maybe I want to take the kids out of the country and I need consent, then I'm going to ask permission, please sign, and I'll be nice. But besides that, I must ask permission from you that I'm seeing someone. And guys, remember, relationships, there's that thing about relationships where you really feel like, I really feel like this is the one. It's driving you crazy until I when I self, then you will understand, yay, Jesus is not the one. How many relationships have you been into where at some point You thought, I know this is the one. It's the one. It's the one. No, we are walking down the aisle. Then Jiggy Jiggy out of the blue. Hey, this one is no one. No. And you were sure. How many? How many? And then now you want to come here and say, no, for the baby daddy before he can even before he can show his girls to my woman, to my child, he must be sure is the one. And Nami, I must also know my sister. My sister, me, if I tell you your news, you will say I'm paid. You will say I've been paid to come and talk. My sister, you couldn't make a relationship work with this man. Clearly, you don't know what he wants. You don't know what is good for him. Because if you knew what is good for him and what that which is good for him was you guys will be together even today. So the fact that you're not together, it shows clearly you are not what he wants. He's not what you want. So what he wants now, you can't relate. But for some reason, you feel like because this child, I carry this child for 9 months. Whatever woman that he gets around my child, I must know. Yes, I must know because the child is mine. And then when now you guys have to go to the family court and you must fight for custody of the children and visitations and whatnot. And guys, also another thing that you need to look into now. You see this thing, yeah. Like I don't know, some of you guys who have actually gone through the legal route of having a divorce decree, and you have these settlement agreements, and there are things which are stipulated according to the Children's Act. There's no such thing as don't introduce my kids to your floozies, because it's madness. It's you and your narcissistic brain that think that someone needs permission. That thing it doesn't exist. I unless maybe somebody can come here and tell me, Urina, my settlement agreement and my parenting plan stipulates that you don't introduce my child to anyone. Guys, Mara, you guys are not normal. Hey, I'm sorry for swearing at you. Hey, someone is gonna take this part only and I'm gonna trend on TikTok. But yeah, she even saw it as she said, we are not normal. I'm sorry, we are normal. Mara, what is this madness? Or half of your brain is working, the other half is not working. Ah, Wamar. You mean to tell me, Ori, for some reason, whether you feel like this is the reason why people think that having babies with people, it's locking them down. Like literally. There are certain things that people do in relationships where they don't even know what the heck they're doing. And some of us have been there. You know, we literally have to sit down now and say, why are we doing what we're doing? Why? I'm going to deviate a bit now. I was having a conversation with a lady and she even said that I must create a video for her where she was talking to a man who wanted, it's her boyfriend. The boyfriend wants to marry her. And with the boyfriend wanting to marry her, she's doing well for herself. Like she's doing well, she's pushing, she's fighting Dombo, you know. And with her doing so well for herself, this boyfriend is working. He's an employed person, 9 to 5, like myself. Ne? And then he says that he wants to marry her in community of property. And Yana, she's saying, no, in community of property won't work for me because I'm a businesswoman and I still have to do stuff. And this guy was like, no, if you don't want to do in community of property, then we're not doing it. Because for me, if it's not in community of property, then it's not love. Then you don't love me. That means clearly you want us to divorce going forward. This guy was cheating, but he decided to stop cheating because now he's serious about life. He's just waiting for that in community of property so that he can rob this woman all of a man. Because for me, the thing is, a marriage a contract, what does it have to do with love? Okay, now I can ask the question because I got my fingers burned, you know? Because the thing is, if we are getting married for love, why should me getting married, tangling myself to you, be a sign of love? Like, it seems like we people of color especially, we don't know how to show love. We don't know what love is. That's why we think in community of property is love. That's why we think giving somebody a baby is love. That's literally us just trying to trap each other so that it will be difficult for us to let go. And the minute you think of trapping someone, then clearly you know something is going to go wrong. Why would you want to trap someone? Because if you are confident enough that this person loves me, like I know for sure, why do you need security by locking them up with a baby or locking them up within community of property so that it will be difficult for them? We're just making life difficult for ourselves to live. You understand what I mean? Hashi, so thank you so much, my love. The comment is quite long. I'm probably gonna read it afterwards. You get what I mean? Like, what is it? What is it? Why are we doing in community of property? To show love? No, it's not to show love. It's to tie each other up so that it will be difficult to leave. So that part of it difficult to leave really shows something is going to give. Something is going to happen, which will make it difficult for you to leave. Because you know the saying that if somebody loves you, you must let them go, and if they love you, they will come back. What happened to that? Why do we need the surety? For me to be sure you love me, I must tie myself to you. Only to make it difficult for myself when I feel like the heat is really heating and I really need to leave. I can't leave anymore because that's how difficult it is for me to leave. It's super, super difficult for me to leave. So if we really love each other, we should be able to liberate each other. If we're making a baby, we're not making a baby because we're trying to lock each other up and we're gonna make it difficult for us to leave the relationship. No. We just want an additional child. We just want one more baby, one last one. I mean, I like relatives. I have 2 relatives now. I need more relatives. That for me, I feel like it's a good enough reason for me to want to procreate. Not because I want surety that this person, I'm gonna tie them up. That even when they want to leave, it will be difficult for them to leave. Let's get married in community of property so that we are more serious. We know we're not going to leave each other. No. Love somebody enough to give them the freedom to decide whether they want to be there or not. So we have it all twisted, this whole thing of us showing each other love. It's weird. The way we are wired is not make sure. It's not make sure at all. I'm seeing a request, but I have to leave. My brother Moshe. Okay, let me just accept Moshe. Moshe is gone. Okay, cool. Now that Moshe is gone, that means it's fine. We can wrap it up. But I have to love you and leave you guys. Today is just one of those days. I suppose we'll have to do another one tomorrow. I'm not so sure if we're going to have a continuation of today's topic or we're going to have something new altogether. But if we're going to have a continuation, then obviously we'll have people who, it will be me, I'll talk less and people will engage more. And share their views and opinions. And I was hoping that all the people who in the comment section busy bickering at each other there and busy boxing each other, they're gonna come forward and share. This is Mina. This is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. But I think maybe the problem is because Mina already I'm biased. I'm already guys. Mina, I don't care a damn how many women, men, combination of everything my baby daddy introduces my kids to. Unless if they didn't see each other on top of each other, and unless if my kids saw their baby daddy on top of that girl or that girl on top of my baby daddy, then I'll have a problem. But just relating with people sitting here, then I must count to know who did you see when you went to Papa's house? What did she do? Who did hi guys. How people must have their freedom. This one time I was telling my kids about getting them a stepfather, because this other one always stresses me. Mama, my friend has got a real father and a stepfather. I also want a stepfather. I'm like, don't pressurize me. So now when I'm ready to talk about the topic of stepfather, I'm like, guys, what do you think about having, I have a boyfriend who could turn into your stepfather one day. Are they happy about it? The other one just wants to have more family members, more siblings, And he's like, at least, Mama, you don't have to fall pregnant a lot of times so that we can have siblings. If this boyfriend of yours has got kids, then we have siblings, we're a big family, and all that stuff. So then they're excited about that, and then they say, Mama, even on Papa's side we had a brother. I used to go to the same school with him. I don't know where he is now. So to me that means he had a girlfriend and they really thought they're gonna work it out. That's why they even introduced their kids to each other, and the relationship didn't work out. And that relationship, and the mother and the child are gone. But that can now be my problem to say, why you introduce my kids to your new girlfriend and your what? Guys, my kids, when they come back from their father's house, sometimes they have new clothes. And they'll tell me, Sisi Mang Mang bought me clothes. These clothes were bought by Man Mang. We went to swim with Mang Mang. I must be angry somebody's taking care of my kids. Huh? I must be angry. Or somebody's doing the job for me. Oh, you guys, be serious. Because the thing is, Mina, I know this guy would not be reckless with the kids and be irresponsible and just give them to whoever because he loves his kids. You understand? So meaning that whoever that he's giving his kids to, he trusts that person. I would also be offended if he's not comfortable with my boyfriend because I trust him. And I know he can do a good job when it comes to him being a stepfather to my kids. But to have my baby daddy now questioning him, it'll be like, guy, when stranger way. This is the person I'm laying down with. It's not a stranger. So, but for us women, excuse me, for us women, all of a sudden we are in ground of safety for our children, of morals, of red pen, mark. This one is good. This one is not good. I went and I searched her up on Facebook. Yes, sir, she's a loud mouth. She talks a lot. Yes, sir, she's a madam speaker. My sister, you will be strong. I'm going to step mother your children, whether you like it or not. I'm not playing that game. As long as your ex is comfortable with me chilling there with your kids, we're gonna chill. When I play 30 seconds with your kids and my kids. If you think I'm gonna come to you and you wanna do a psychometric test with me, I'm mad. I'm mad. Anyway, that's that. I have to love you and leave you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are on time, 7 o'clock on the dot. We are doing our usual segment, Losing in Love podcast. Yeah, that's all that I have for today. You guys will tell me. You'll tell me during the course of the week, during the course of the day tomorrow. But some stepfather and stepmother come with wrong intentions. Yes, I agree with you, né? But who is Ish, my English bundles are running away. The question that I want to ask is, who was able to pick that up? When I, as the mother of the child, are you the one who was able to pick up that your baby daddy's new woman has come with wrong intentions? Because your baby daddy self cannot see that the person that they brought into their lives has got wrong intentions. Who must decide? I have my intentions there in my heart, and I'm with your ex. So when do you get to see my intentions with your children is what I'm asking. Especially if I'm not going to be with your children 24/7 every day. I'm going to see them when I see their father, and we're going to chill together, we're going to cook, we're going to eat. So when do you get to pick up my intentions, which are bad intentions, as a stepmother as the incoming stepmother to your children? You get what I mean? Or when you just look at her and you just feel bad vibes. And trust me, né? I do know that there are people who are, and also like I feel like, yeah, a lot of people will always say when I'm perseverance, you're speaking from a point of luxury because you've got a stepmother from heaven. Because I mean, I do have a stepmother from heaven. Literally, she's the one who taught me how to stepmother very well. You can ask my stepchild. I'm still stepchilding her even today, even 4 years after me and her baby and her dad have broken up, né? But when it comes to these intentions, who should pick them up? Because I know for a fact that my kids, mine, when they come back home from their father and they are not treated well, they will tell me. They will tell me. And my baby daddy will choose his kids any day. I remember there was this one woman that he was seeing. You know, I like that woman, a career woman driven. She's okay. She's a decent woman, you know. She was cooking and doing all these things. Like she was going an extra mile for this guy. And I'm like, my guy, why don't you marry this woman? But like, this can be a good stepmother for my kids. Like, hey, when you don't know when you're defending someone you don't know. I don't like someone who does not like my kids. So this girl got a red card because she didn't like his kids. I mean, I didn't even get involved. Né? But now, how was I going to pick up whether this girl does not like his kids? Because he had to pick it up himself. You know? Because I trust that he will want what is best for his kids. Meaning that even people who are not good for his kids, when they come into the kids' lives, he will make sure he gets rid of them. But Mina, as the baby mama, that I failed to make a relationship work with my ex, all of a sudden, no, that girl is not good. I'm gullible, guys. At this point, I feel like any woman that my ex can bring around my kids is good enough. Like I feel like any woman is good. Any woman is good enough for that guy. And my kids will never be a burden to that woman. My kids know that they have two parents. Two. You know, I was so emotional the other day. I put the video on my WhatsApp where my son, they went to play rugby. You know, they were there on a rugby camp the whole weekend, the long weekend. And they did this little video where I think they were greeting their parents at home. They were in a line. The first kid comes, hello mama, hello papa, and then they go. Then the next kid comes, hello mama, hello papa, they go. Hello mama, hello papa, they go. Others they come, hello mama, they go. Hello papa, they go. Hello grandmommy, they go. So these kids are literally greeting the person that is like, you know, their parent, their guardian. And my kid, before he could even come on, I already knew he's gonna greet both of us, but I knew he was gonna start with his father. So even when I put it on my status, I was like, this little traitor, I'm the one who paid for the trip, but he's out here greeting his father first. Why is not greeting me first? Hello, papa, hello, mama, and then he goes. And the one thing that I always emphasize is the fact that I'm not looking for, when I date, I'm not looking for a replacement for the father of my children, because he's there. You understand? So even the kids feel the presence of both parents. So anybody else who comes in here, they're not gonna temper what is already there, especially for the kids. The kids know, mama, I need this, papa, I need this, whatever. They spend time. Now the holidays are coming. Hi, gube. Omulumu must go to their father's house. You understand? So somebody who actually has that good relationship with their kids, me now for some reason I must feel like the woman that he must bring into the kids' lives, I must be the judge, because he's a bad judge of character. Is that why he judged the character this one and the relationship didn't work out? So as I was saying that my heart broke when these kids were doing this hello mama, hello papa thing, because for me it spoke more than what was being said, because the kids were just greeting the parent which is available. And it broke my heart that there are kids who only have a grandmother, there are kids who only have a father, there are kids who only have a mother. But also at the same time, I felt some sense of gratefulness, you know, that even if I'm not together with their father anymore, they still see us both. I don't want no competition between, I can't. Guys, I don't want competition between me and my ex. I don't want it. I don't understand people who don't want their kids to go visit their other parent. Guys, how do you guys don't want to rest? I love my kids with all of my heart, but when these kids leave and they go to their father, I go back. When they come back and or when they are tired and they'll be like, we're now bored, papa is going to work, come back. You guys don't want to rest. You want to be in control, because you feel like, you know what, because I endured suffering and abuse from this man, he will know me until the rest of his life, for as long as I'm the mother of this child, and he loves the child. Because usually people who are becoming problematic are people that know very well who the baby daddy actually loves their kids. Because imagine if the baby daddy didn't love the kids, if the baby daddy wanted to be a deadbeat, you would not be having a stage to perform to. You would not be having an audience to perform to. So you only perform to the baby daddies who actually want to be present in their kids' lives. Yeah, unless you see, like I'm saying, or if my kid comes back and they say, Papa's friend beat me up, then you will know me. Hey, you will know me. You will know me in my class. You understand? But if the woman has never given me a reason, like I'm saying now, this woman apparently didn't like my kids because they're spoiled brat, because they're all, Papa, 2 seconds, Papa, Papa. But she never got to be close to my kids. So meaning that had she had a chance to be close to them, chances are she would have mistreated them. But the father didn't even let that happen. And I trust Ori, if something like that happens, the father is going to put a stop to it before it gets to me. Because he knows once it gets to me, it's going down. I'm taking off the wig, I'm taking off the lashes. In fact, you are going to jail. So, Mara, you guys mean to tell me, Hori, the way your baby daddies who actually want to be present in your children's lives are so reckless that they're going to bring a druggie around your kids? A thug who's going to come and rob your kids and abuse them? Because these things, you can't. I don't want to open another topic. It's another topic for another day when it comes to kids being abused. Kids are being abused when they're staying with both mothers and fathers. The same podcast that I'm saying I'm watching, I was watching an episode where a couple, it's a husband and a wife and children, a child came back from school, the child was raped. They still want to find out even now. They want justice. They want to know who raped the child. So these things happen everywhere. You understand? They happen everywhere. But with that being said, it doesn't say we should not take precautionary measures. But it says that sometimes, guys, you are blowing things out of proportion. All because of your bitterness. All because you want your revenge. You want to be like Saul. Not even Saul. What do you call that other one? Well, the other one that the strength was on the hair. Samson. You want to be like Samson when? Because the Philistine caught you and they took off your eyes. You were like, Lord, give me power for the last time. I want to hit a wall so that I can kill more Philistines than I did when I was alive. That's what you want to do to your baby daddy. You must move on, my sister. If you want your baby daddy to feel you last because whether you've been enduring abuse for the longest time, now that you've broken up, he will know you. Hey, my sister. I know with these type of topics, women actually don't like me. It's okay. Oh, you love me tomorrow on tomorrow's topic. The one here today is this one, and you are not liking me. That's okay. But then we have to love you guys and leave you. I'll see you on the flip side. God bless you. Mwah, mwah. Tomorrow, guys, we're coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock on the dot. We are here. Okay.